And I wanna sing now, Shelley Winter. So George, got to turn on the microphone for it to work. So Georgia passed, we know, this so-called heartbeat bill, an abortion bill, basically saying when the heartbeat of the baby can be heard by a doctor, then a woman can't have an abortion after that. And people screamed and yelled, Hollywood, we're not going to do these. We're not going to do any more movies. You know, yada, yada, yada. Alyssa Milano said she's going on a sex strike. Who cares? I will not want to sleep with Alyssa Milano anyway, so who cares? But they all rose up against it. Now they're kind of backing off, and what they're saying is, well, we're going to still make movies in Georgia, but we're going to donate some money to the ACLU to fight these abortion bills, which is what the abortion bills want you to do. So here's the interesting thing. Alabama has just signed an abortion bill that is what Pat Robinson calls extreme, just so extreme. But more importantly than that, I want to go through this with you all because Elizabeth Warren is taking on what I believe to be the talking point that they're going to use, the Democrats are going to use going into 2020. They're going to use a specific talking point. And I've already seen this roll out in the media. And that's going to be a men versus women talking point on abortions. Hey, Brett, do you have number 7? Let's hit that. Listen to this. Sorry about that.
On the heels of restrictive abortion bills in Georgia and in Ohio. All 3 bills would ban abortions for most women before they even know that they are pregnant. No exception for rape, no exception for incest. And in the Alabama bill, doctors could get 99 years in prison for performing abortions. That could be longer than a rapist gets when he impregnates a woman, and she would be forced under that bill to carry that baby to term. Republican men are on the march to overturn Roe versus Wade. And with Donald Trump stacking the courts in favor of judges who are opposed to abortion, that could be a real possibility. Women across this country are scared. Women are angry. If you support women, now is the time to make that known.
Now, if you support women, now's the time to make that known. Abortion is not about women versus men. Let's be clear here. Abortion is a moral and a legal issue. That's it. It's a moral and legal issue. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's a moral and legal issue. Do you morally believe that a body inside of another body can be killed for whatever reason? That's the moral issue. Then the legal issue becomes, obviously, Roe v. Wade. And in Roe v. Wade, basically, the idea was that it would be, the ruling says, it's actually written, that's why, this is a response, let me rewind a little bit, I apologize. This is a response to New York and Virginia and these extreme bills that the Democrats pushed forth. Now, this has been in the works. On the right, it's been in the works for a while. But it's really a response to the extreme bills that were pushed by New York where you can have abortion up until birth. Okay? They were pushing that. They were saying it's completely okay to have a full-term abortion. Now, the other side to this is we're saying, well, no, it's always a life. And so the heartbeat bill in Georgia, Brian Kemp signed the bill, where if you feel a heartbeat, then it's a life. If you've got a heartbeat, it's a life. So you can't abort a life. So the extreme, what's extreme here is not the fact that people have passed a law in Alabama that the only thing making it extreme is they're taking away the option that if you are impregnated through rape or incest, you can't have an abortion. That's what they're calling extreme. But the bill itself is not extreme. Now I agree. I mean I go back and forth ethically in my own mind. I go back and forth on a rape versus incest thing because it's still a life. So I should maintain the argument. I should maintain the exact same argument throughout internally, logically. I should maintain the exact same argument throughout the process of thinking this through. If Shelley, you think it's a moral issue to destroy a life within another life form, and that's a bad thing, then at some point then you've got to see whether it's rape or incest. Doesn't make a difference. It's still a life with no through being born through no fault of its own. And so I struggle with that. I really do. And I shouldn't, because logically, if you believe one, you have to believe the other. But one of the things that I disagree with and I hate that they're doing is they're trying to make this a male versus female thing. I'm seeing this. You heard Elizabeth Warren, and one of the big things that they're saying, by the way, the woman in Alabama that signed the bill as governor is a woman. But what I find very interesting is this idea that if I don't have a uterus, I can't make a decision on whether I agree with abortion or not. And it's not about that. It's a moral and legal argument, nothing more. And so the fact is, I just find it abhorrent. Argue pro versus anti-abortion, pro-abortion versus anti-abortion. That's the way I like to frame it. I don't like the whole pro-life, pro-choice because it misleads the public. Either you're for or against abortion. That should be the argument. But the whole idea of you're for abortion that I hate is the red herring arguments that they throw out there. You're a man, you can't speak on my uterus. Well, you let me into your uterus in the first place. The reason why I can speak on it is because it was me and you that got together to have this or a man and you got together for you to even have a decision to make. So I have everything to do with your uterus. As a matter of fact, I do control your uterus to a certain extent because I'm in it. Just like you control my, manhood because you're putting it in you. We control each other. So this idea that I can't make a decision about a body form, a life form in your uterus because I'm a man is patently ridiculous. And any men that go for that, you're just a sheep, really. You're a metrosexual sheep. But I digress. And the other argument that I hate that they use is essentially that, like I said, men bossing around women. Like I said, Kate Ivory is a governor of Alabama that signed the bill. She's a woman. You look at here in the Georgia Right to Life, when the heartbeat bill, that was pushed, the executive director is a woman. Now, the president's a man, but he's a figurehead. The executive director, Zamula Fleck, she's a woman. She's on the ground every day fighting. She's at the State House. And the Democrats know this in Georgia. There are women up there fighting for this. If you get elected, Brian Kemp got elected, everybody that runs for office in Georgia, I know this to be true because I've worked on campaigns before. The Georgia Right to Life has you fill out a form, a survey. Right? When you fill out that form, you say whether you're for or against. If you're a Republican, you either say yes or you don't get elected. Now, if you get elected and you're supported by them, then you got to do what they say because you're supported by them. Women are largely behind the pro-life movement. In South Carolina, abortion is overwhelmingly supported, and South Carolina has many more female voters overall than any other than neighboring states. That look it up. So it's just, no one's trying to control your body. You can use your body to do whatever you want. You have a choice to do whatever you want. I don't, but choices have consequences. And unless you're willing to deal with the consequences, you can't say I'm going to murder something because I can't deal with the consequences. Imagine, if you will, you get married and your wife is standing there, you can't get along, and you could just kill her. Now someone will say, well, Shelley, that's completely different. She's a grown form. She's a grown human being. Well, what's the difference between a grown human being and a developing human being? They're both human beings. And either you have a moral issue against killing human beings or you don't. But it's not an issue that you can tell me I can't have an opinion on simply because I'm a man. It's the Shelley Winter Show on the New Talk 106.7, soon to be gone. It's time to go to that. What am I up to? Day 12, Brett Barney? Today's day 11? I'm working on Memorial Day, day 12. Today's day 12. I got 12 more shows left. Jesus, it's so real right now. It's time to go to the Haviland Express Loop Traffic Center with my brother, Matthew Dorr.
85 starting to get real with brake flights as you leave 360.